Hey everybody, it's Roger with Kinsta. Today I'm joined once again by my good friend Michael. Hey Michael, how are you?
Hey Roger, how's it going?
It's going really well. I'm excited to see you again and catch up. The last time we talked was about 6 or 7 weeks ago, right before WordCamp US. And you were going to give a presentation there about following your passion and making it into some sort of a career or working with it. How'd your talk go?
It went really well. I was privileged to be able to be a speaker. It was my first WordCamp and my first time being a speaker, so I was kind of thrown into the fire.
Yeah.
But it was really exciting. I think for the most part, a lot of people gave good feedback on my presentation. I spoke specifically about, from going from passion to profit and just developing strategies to build an online course with WordPress. And I wasn't too sure about the audience and whether or not that was something of interest, but it's something I love talking about. The worst thing they could do is only give me 45 minutes to talk about something that I'm passionate about. I could have gone on and on. But someone did tell me that, hey, your talk was so good that if I only came to your presentation, it would have made the entire WordPress worth it. So I was like blown away by that comment, and I was like, okay, yes, even if one person got it, but there were a lot of people who got feedback, and I was able to talk to them. In fact, I'm even working with some of the people who attended my presentation, so it worked out like a lead magnet for me as well.
Excellent. I'm so excited to hear that, and I think part of what you're talking about there is the people that give you feedback. You've got to count that there's 10, 50 people that didn't give you feedback. And so getting that one positive comment, I mean, that's huge. So really well done. Congratulations. How did you like Portland?
Portland was good. Like I said, first time in Portland. And I think I didn't prepare for the weather. So I'm from the Caribbean in Trinidad and Tobago. And so I was like, oh, it's a bit chilly. Walking around, it's a bit chilly. But for the most part, I think just Portland has this vibe of, I think you had said it in our last talk, that it was a little bit weird, but it's a kind of welcoming weird. The people were warm for the most part. I went to a Black Press event, among many others, and we were able to connect with some of the locals on the streets, and thoroughly enjoyed it. Love the community, love the people who were at WordCamp as well.
Beautiful, beautiful. It sounds like I need to get you a Kinsta hoodie for next year's WordCamp.
Man, you got to set me up, man. You got to get me hooked up.
Right. I'm on it. I'm making a note. All right, so we've kind of made a shift to how these talks go since the last time you and I talked, and I'm really diving into people's histories a little bit more. So when I'm looking at your LinkedIn profile, I see you have a bachelor's in civil engineering. Is that right?
That's correct, yeah.
Okay, so walk me through going from civil engineering degree to now you're an online influencer doing WordPress courses. How did that happen?
Yeah. If you just look on paper, it's like, okay, where did this guy come from? Where did it all start? How did he get into WordPress? Yeah. And my journey was a unique one in that I initially went to college to study for civil engineering. My dad's a civil engineer. And so I ventured down that path thinking that, I love math, physics, and so I ventured down that road. But by my second year in college, I realized this is not what I want to do for the rest of my life. It just did not excite me. It wasn't my passion. What I was passionate about was learning new things, and I love challenging myself. And so in my second year, I figured, okay, let me go into video. So I actually started a videography business. That's where I went first, which essentially helped me in what I do now with my video experience. So I ventured down that path while still completing my civil engineering degree, but I wasn't necessarily the best student because I was so removed from civil engineering that I was focusing so much more on my videography business. And so like in my last talk, I shared that I wanted to advertise my business. So that's how I found WordPress. And then a client or two saw my site and they were like, okay, your site looks wonderful. And we were able to book a call to you through the site. It was so fantastic, the experience. And they're like, hey, could you give us or refer to us the person who built your site? And I was like, well, it was me, this guy. And they asked if I could build a site for them. I said, yeah, I'll do it. And initially I was going to do it for free, Roger. I was going to build this site for free because I just enjoyed the process of building the website on WordPress. But they said, no, we'll actually pay you. And that was kind of the beginning of me kind of jumping into the more creative space as opposed to the more technical aspect of like engineering. And then sure enough, a couple of years later, my videography business kind of stopped getting traction because of COVID and things of that nature. So I kind of transitioned over to building websites and WordPress. And I was still completing my civil engineering degree. And to this day, I haven't worked in that space professionally, but I got my degree and I said, you know what, Dad, here's your degree, because he did want me to finish. So I said, here's your degree, Dad, I'm going to pursue this path. And eventually I just got wrapped up in WordPress, and eventually I found my core passion in building online courses through WordPress and using plugins and things of that nature. And it's interesting because my parents are both, like, my dad was a lecturer, my mom's a teacher, so it was kind of in my blood to be in that education space, and WordPress just facilitated that type of platform for me as well.
Excellent, excellent. I love hearing these stories. I'm kind of similar. I started computer science. I switched out, though, my first semester. I did not even try faking it through. So good on you to stick with it. When it comes to your approach for creating courses for clients, what's kind of your process? Like, just briefly, like, how do you like open that door and start delving into creating a course for somebody else?
Yeah, so like in any other business, any service-based business, you typically want to just understand the client. So what I initially do is I just talk about, okay, what are you passionate about and what do you have expertise in? Those are like the two principles that you need before you start building a course. Because if you don't have the passion and if you don't have the expertise, it's going to be really difficult to create a course and sell it to someone who is supposed to solve a problem for. So I first find out what that is, and then I transition to, okay, how can we package this into sometimes it's a course, sometimes it's a community, sometimes it's a mastermind. And so once I take them through the process of understanding how to channel their offer into something that people will actually purchase, we then do surveys. So I tell them, hey, we're going to do a survey and find out from your audience if you have one, or just find out from friends and family about, hey, would you purchase this thing, this expertise, this knowledge that I have, if I were to, put it into a course? And so based on the feedback, that lets us know if the offer is validated, if it's something that people actually want. And then the process is, after we've done all that, we're like, okay, we've got the thing that we think we can move forward with. And we start creating what they know in the tech space as an MVP, or a minimal viable product. And so I go through that with my clients, talking to them about, okay, if you're going to, let's say it's fitness, how to lose a couple pounds in the next 30 days. We would then take whatever that core offer is. Well, let's say it's how to do it in the next week, how to lose weight in the next week, something very small. Because for most people, they think that a course needs to just be jam-packed with information.
Okay.
But what you really want to do is find out what is the way to get them the most amount of value in the shortest time possible. So that's what I do with my clients. I try to, they come to me with all these different ideas of what they can do. I'm like, okay, let's just slow down. If it's your first time building a course, let's figure out how can we get the most amount of value in the least amount of time possible. And so we go through that process of just creating a curriculum. And once we've created the curriculum, we create a sales page and make sure it has the right messaging. And once it has the right messaging, we're good to go. We're either going to create content, create a lead magnet, and just drive a lot of traffic through different platforms. The one I typically recommend is like YouTube or LinkedIn recently has been a really good platform to get new leads. And so I walk them through that entire process. There's a lot more involved in it logistically, but that's like the core steps that you need to do. You need to have a passion, you need to have the expertise, you need to have your offer, and then you need to have a way to bring your audience towards it.
Beautiful. I'm sold. Let's sign me up. Let's go. This is great. Michael, I try and keep these short. We're at 10 minutes. If somebody wants to get in touch with you, what's the best way to reach out?
Yeah, so at WordPress, what was really cool is I found out that Gravatar has this new thing where you can create a .link account. So I'm going to share my .link. It's Michael Cunningham, my name, .link, and you can find all my information there. It's kind of like a link tree. You find me on YouTube, where I'm becoming to be a little more consistent. Instagram, you can find it all there.
Excellent, excellent. Michael, appreciate the time as always. It's great catching up with you and getting some insights into how you work. I look forward to speaking with you again soon. I hope you have a great day.
All right. Thank you so much, Roger. Take care.